What is going on, everybody? How you all doing? Excited about doing a live stream. I haven't really done one of these in a little while, but we will give it a few minutes for some people to start jumping on here. I'm pretty glad I got the time change right because Mexico changes 2 weeks later than everyone else. So it is technically 12 o'clock Eastern time or 12 o'clock Central time, which is when I said this was going to be, which is 11 o'clock my time. But we got one person on so far. How you doing? Say what's up in the chat. I'm able to connect the chat. Is the chat working? Yes, if chat's working. That would be crappy if the chat's not working. Restore chat. Right. So any questions that you have, go ahead, post them in the chat. I'm going to get to some of the questions that were answered by email. Those of you who are watching the recording of this, just make it, if you have a question that we don't answer on the live stream, just go ahead and leave a comment and I will get back to you and answer your question there or take it for the next live stream. I don't think I've ever done a live stream this early, so who knows if this is a good time, bad time, not the best time. We might do it a little later for next week. But yeah, so let me talk about some updates that are happening and some things that are going to be going on. So first off, you've probably noticed a lack of videos. I think I haven't, this might be my first time back on the channel in the last, I think maybe month, and there's really good reason for that. I have just been 110% focused on creating my self-publishing blueprint volume 2, and that's where all my energy and all my focus has been. It has been extremely, not difficult, but it's been a lot different than when I created the first version. Keep in mind, that was also a few years ago. I've been learning a different way and just bringing a whole different finesse and a whole different outlook on the business as a whole with this course that's going to be coming out. And so that's why I haven't been doing videos. And one of the reasons I wanted to do a live stream is I'm actually going to be doing this once a week for the foreseeable future until the course is launched. The reason being is those of you who are just not ready to purchase or you know, you like the videos or whatever the case is, I want to be able to connect with you and answer your questions here. So still working out exactly what time. I don't know if Friday at 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock is going to be the best time. We might do it a little earlier in the week. Monday to Wednesday sometime, maybe a little later in the day. We'll see based on participation and based on feedback. In fact, I'll send a survey out to the email list to see what time kind of works best for everybody. But as you're coming on, go ahead, pop your questions, anything to do with publishing or business in general. We're going to talk about on this live stream. But when's the new course going to be coming out? I do not have a set day yet. The goal is May. In May, I'm going to an event, providing that the world hasn't come to an end yet, right? I'm going to an event, and that event just makes way more sense for me to get a ton more value from it, having the course already up and launched. And so May, I know it's still 2 months away, but like I said, this course has just been so much more work than I could have ever imagined. And I just have a lot less time on my hands this go around than I did when I created the first course when we only had the one child and she was an infant and Mariana and her were out of the house all the time. But life is a lot busier, and that's just being, I don't want to say delaying things, but it's a lot more chaotic. And so I've just been, you know, it'll come out when it comes out, because this thing is like, I can't wait for you guys to get your freaking hands on this thing. It's going to be freaking nuts. So I'm excited. Anyways, let's go through some questions. I'm going to pull up some questions on the email. Like I said, type your questions in the chat box here. And yeah, we will answer some questions, and we'll go as long as we have questions. But yeah, would love to know who's here. Hey, how's the coronavirus in your area? In Monterey, it's just, in Mexico, it's really starting to ramp up here. Like, people really start taking it more seriously here. Yeah, I'm at WeWork right now, my working place, and man, the amount of cleaning that they're doing and disinfecting and everything right now, it's great to see. Makes me feel good. But crazy times. Hashtag thank you, China. All right, so first question is, hi, Emeka, by buying your course plus the purchase of the book plus the audio narrator, how long will it take me to pay that off? So, and that was by, did not leave your name, Demo. So that's a really kind of hard question to ask. You can, because it all depends on how well you nail your keyword research, and a whole bunch of other factors. Don't worry about making ROI back as soon as possible. If you make your money back on your book in 6 months, great. If it takes 12 months for that book to make a profit, phenomenal. Because how long is that book really going to be selling up on Amazon for? The next few years, right? I'd like to say forever, really. So who cares if it takes 6 or 12 months for you to make, the $1,000 or whatever it costs to get your book created. If you make that back within your first year, great. Now years 2 to 80 are pure profit. So so you just typically can't worry about those type of things. But yeah. Okay. Next question. So I'm interested in purchasing your self-publishing blueprint. However, I have some questions. I'm a teenager who has a lot of time and some savings to invest. Would this course be sufficient for me to set up this business successfully over time? How different is your course from other courses out there? Do you provide one-on-one support for your students? Great question. So first off, yes, this course would be sufficient for you to set up the business successfully over time. Whether it's the current version of the course or the upcoming volume 2. As far as how this course is different than other courses out there, I'm going to talk about what's the upcoming course versus the current one right now. The upcoming one is going to be about 20 times larger than the current version. How is it different? It's focused on not just making your first 1,000, it's focused on how to build a real 6-figure business around the self-publishing model with some other things to give you the freedom and the income to be able to go out and go do all of the things that you love doing. And that is really the focus for what's going to be in volume 2. I was talking to one of my students the other day, and with the coronavirus, they're taking time off work, and he was saying that he's so grateful that he started this self-publishing business because he can now take time off work, not worry about getting paid, and stay at home, help his family out, yet he's actually going to make more money with his self-publishing business than he would have if he was just working. And that's exactly why I love doing what I'm doing, because, being a parent, I speak to parents, hello from Toronto, being a parent, being able to not have to worry about those income decisions, those income affecting decisions, and being able to make the right decision to spend more time with your kids, to give your kids whatever they want, or to give your spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, the safety, security, or whatever he or she needs, and not have to worry about the financial aspect of it, is one of the most powerful and most special things you can do. And man, that's why I do what I do. That's exactly why I do what I do. So yeah, cool. All right. Scene Heart says, my book is more than 1 week to getting live. Why is this happening? I don't know. It usually goes live within, I believe Amazon, it says 24 hours. Yeah, or 72 hours, I believe. It says when you publish it, it says it should go live within 72 hours, but typically they go live within 24 hours. So I'm plugging my computer in. So it should be live. So what I would do in that case, just reach out to KDP and just ask them what's up, saying, hey, publish this book on this date, but it's this date, it still hasn't gone live. Any reason why? That typically is it, because when you're publishing the ebook and paperback, there's no human going through it. It's just the algorithm. And so it typically just goes through pretty quick. Versus ACX, right now, some books are taking 30 bloody days to go live. 30 days to go live on ACX. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Like, my Lord. So, cannot wait for that program to get dissolved and it all to be on one. Hopefully that kind of speeds things up. Fingers crossed for this year, right? All right. Najiba, sorry if I butchered your name. I got my book written, but I need someone to edit it. Okay. So I'm not sure if the Urban Writers does only editing services. But your best bet would be your best bet, check with writing companies first to see if you can get it edited, if they have a pure only editing package, or go to Fiverr and have somebody edit your book. Now, if you're going to Fiverr to have somebody edit your book, do not go with the cheapest one. I don't know how much it's going to cost. I've always just got the books from the writing companies, or the times that I work with freelancers. I've done the editing myself. So just don't use the cheap $5 for editing, because that won't really work in your favor too well. All right, Ken. Is it true books are being supported or suspended around coronavirus? Look, I've been debating whether or not to talk about this because I know people will take it both ways. Here, I'm just gonna plug in my computer. Look, I was just reading another article about it. Amazon's taking down tons of coronavirus books and stuff like right now. Listen, there are people who are literally the plug is not even working. Come on, guys. There are literally people who are copying and pasting websites and putting that into a Word doc. Say a 25-page Word doc, and publishing it on Amazon and calling that a book. Amazon's taken all of those down. That's typically what all the articles I've been reading are targeting. And honestly, like, if I ever found out that one of my students was just copying and pasting directly from websites, putting it into a Word doc and uploading on Amazon, I would fucking kick that student out of my program, refund their money, and just tell them fuck off. Because I won't be associated with that type of low-level scumness. That's wrong. That gives the self-publishing industry a horrible reputation. It gives people like myself and all the other course creators a bad rep, because that's not what we're about. That's not what we're teaching. But some low-level pieces of shit, basically, just want to make a quick buck. And so they'll literally go to websites, copy and paste, put it onto a Word doc, and upload that to Amazon. And they just make everything harder for those of us who really want to, use this platform to write good quality books and to do it the right way. So yeah, sorry about that little tangent there. But it's just, I couldn't believe it when I was reading some of that stuff. Like it's here, I'm just going to plug in my computer. 1 second, guys. You fucking kidding me. Oh, fuck. Hey, hi, hola. The plug is not working. No power. Nada.
¿No jala?
No. Can you get somebody?
Ahorita le llaman.
Sí, gracias. All right. All the plugs in this room are not working. Great. Okay. So how much money do I need to have to start a self-publishing business? If I'm writing books but need editing and formatting service done, your course, okay. So if you're writing your books, that's literally 90% of your cost right there, that you're saving by writing the books yourself. So awesome. Formatting is really cheap. You can format yourself. It's really not hard. Or you can, $5 to $20 to get a proper book formatted. Editing, I'm not 100% sure on the cost. It'll be more than formatting, but it's not going to be overly expensive. I'm thinking maybe $50 to $100, but once again, I've never actually paid for only editing, just because I've always taught to get it all done as one. My course is $397 right now. So get it before the new one comes out, because it'll be a lot more.
Okay.
Yeah. Nada.
No. Ahorita yo lo.
Okay, gracias.
Seguro.
And Amazon ads are cheap. They are so cheap. So it's not even a cost I would worry about. Hey, Deborah. Yeah, so hopefully, I'm not even going to try your name. I'm just going to say Abdul Rahman. Hopefully that answers your questions. Let me know if you want clarification on anything. Just go ahead and type that there. Sinhart, now I'm publishing one low content interior with 20 different covers in one pen name. Tell me your opinion about this, Abdul. So now I'm publishing one low content interior with 20 different covers and one pen name. Okay, let me think about this first, because 20 different covers. Okay, what I would need to really answer that, it's like what?
Okay.
Perfect, thank you. Like I want to know what the topic is, because I understand what you're saying. And in my head right now, it does make sense with what you're doing. I understand that, because I'm thinking of the type of books that you might be doing, and yeah, like it might make sense, because yeah, like it could be okay, as long as here's if you want to worry about, is this right or is this right? Think about your end consumer. Think about the person who's going to be buying your book, you're buying your product. Are they getting value from whatever they're buying? Do some people want, so like, okay, it's all the same. I get it. The interior is all the same, but the covers, are they appealing because different people want different covers, or that's just how your niche is? If that's how your niche is, then yeah, no, that's totally great. I'm not about the low content books. It's just not something I've had interest in. I think too many people get into it for completely the wrong ideas. I think you have to do way too much work in order to really make some money. So I hate that model. It's not something I do. But hey, if it's working for you, go for it. Okay. Hi, Emeka. Hey, Ben. How much do I need to have for my first nonfiction book written by a ghostwriter? Let's say 10,000 words. I don't know 10,000. It's been a while since I've done a 10,000 word book. 25 to 30,000. You're looking around $700 to $900. with the Urban Writers like top package. So like half that for the smaller amount, I guess, roughly. But longer books are where it's at. 10,000 is really too short in this day and age. You want to do 25 to 30,000 words. It's just, or longer. If you want to go longer, you can go longer. You can go 40, 50, 60,000. You know, longer books are better for so many different reasons. Hope says, sir, earlier you said something about copying and pasting the Word doc. That is plagiarism, correct. Is there anything wrong if someone gets an ideas from a website or writes it in his book? No, that's called research. That's what all ghostwriters are doing, right? So they're researching a topic. They're going online, researching a topic, taking notes, and then from those notes and from all the information they've been reading, they put it onto, they start writing and typing a new version of that. That's all. That's writing, right? That's how you do it. You think nonfiction books are just the research somebody read, rewritten and retold in their own words. That is totally cool. Now you can quote a website, right? Do a direct quote, but you have to list it as a source. But these people are just taking, you know, Control A, Control C, Control P, publish. That's totally not cool. Okay, Vitrio. You sound Italian. I think you are Italian, right? Hope you're doing okay over in Italy. Hello, Emeka. Hope you are well. I am. Can you suggest us some skilled freelance writer on Upwork? Like, I can't. The reason being is when I use freelancers, I don't just look for generic freelancers. I look for specific industry freelancers. I look for specific industry freelancers. So if I'm gonna do a dog book, I'm gonna look for people who love dogs, but also have a bit of writing skills, right? So I want their passion, a little bit of writing skills, and then I'll have my editor fix everything. So that's what I've done whenever I do freelance work. I don't just go to Upwork and say, hey, I want an ebook on this. I don't do that because the only reason I'm going to use a freelancer is because I want specific things in the book that typically a writing company just won't be able to get to that level. So that's when I'll use freelancers. So I think my approach to freelancers is a lot different than some other approaches to freelancers. But some of my best books that are still kicking ass today, written by freelancers using that approach. So I stand by it. Looking through the public domain. No, that cannot work. Public domain books do not work. It's not illegal, but you will lose your account on Amazon. That does not work. That is a scummy thing to do in this day and age. You cannot do public domain books on Amazon. Period. How do you find the perfect freelancer? I literally just explained that, Marlo, 3 minutes ago. So if you might know, go back 3 minutes, boom, you'll get that. But you look for somebody in the specific niche that you want to write in, who also knows how to do a bit of writing, and then you have an editor fix everything up for you. That's how I find freelancers. Derek, hey man, I have a new book, 2 weeks old, with 1 review, and I've run Facebook, Amazon ads, get a ton of clicks, but only 1 to 2 sales. Is there a way to get people to buy in spite of my lack of reviews? Yes, it could be your description. So if you're getting a ton of clicks, that's good. That typically means your cover is converting, your title is converting, right? Because people they're seeing it and clicking. But if you're not getting any, or if you're getting very few sales, it means your description is usually not converting. So that would be the very first thing I would relook at and change is your description. Just gonna see if we have some more emailed questions. Oh, and the last thing, do you provide one-on-one support? I didn't answer that part in this person's question. I do provide one-on-one support, like inside the Facebook group. People can directly ask me questions there. I also do live video group calls every 2 weeks for the in the program, and so people are able to ask specific questions there as well. And I have students email me every now and then. I don't like a ton of emails. That's why I don't really talk about it, as it's not really part of the program. But like if they email me, I'm going to respond. Right? I'm not just going to ignore the email. So, okay. What other questions do you all have? Or maybe I'll ask you a question and you can go ahead and answer. What is the hardest or what is the biggest struggle right now, or the thing that's holding you back from getting to the next level in your business or in your life? We can go down that route as well. What is that right now? See if I can help you with that a little bit. Let's see if there are any other questions. It doesn't look like there's any other questions there. Cool. When researching customers, what are the best resources? This is a great question, Ken. This is one of the lessons that I'm currently working on right now. Okay. I'm just thinking, is it best to use a niche example? So, like the easy ones are, you can Google, Reddit, YouTube, Amazon. Those are like kind of the go-to, right? Facebook groups. It's research. I think we've all done research in school. And so it's different customers are going to hang out in different places. So if we're doing, like if we're doing a book on like dogs, right? I would definitely hit up YouTube. I think YouTube's number one. YouTube's number one above all, because you're going to be able to get video from dog owners, right? So that actual dog owners video. The comment sections are golden on YouTube, right? Of course, there's Facebook groups as well. But yeah, like I guess those are really the biggest ones: YouTube, Facebook. Just like Google, forums are actually still a popular thing, depending on what niche it is, right? I don't know if there's maybe a lot of dog forums, because it is more of a social thing with dogs. So it's probably more on the Facebook side of things. Excuse me. But yeah, so hopefully does that help, or do you have a follow-up question to that? It's just when you're researching your customers, it's just you fully want to understand what's the problem that they're facing, or what are the issues that they're having, and what type of solutions are they looking for, and then have your book, and literally your customers create everything for you. They'll create that book for you, essentially by telling you, hey, here's the problem. This is the type of solution I want. Here's the language we speak. And you just create the book based on what you're finding out about them. When you build your business this way, this is one of the reasons that one of my smallest niches has done the best, and it still makes money today, even though I have not published a book in it in almost 2 years. But I just fully understood the customer, right? Could you please give us an idea on how to write a book outline for nonfiction. Yes. Okay. So when and it's it'd be easier with an actual document to kind of show you. Ben, are you in the Facebook group? Are you in the course? I think you are, because your name looks familiar. Because I think there's a document inside the Facebook group that you could just grab, and it'll answer this. So outline is the main things you want. I'll just kind of give you the main things that you're looking for in outline. Okay, who the book is for, what demographic, because it's important for the writer to understand the customer they're writing to. Because a book written for a younger demographic is going to be different than a book written for an older demographic because of the language and everything. So who the book's for, what you want in the book, and what you don't want in the book. So understanding. So here's the main topic, but I don't want these topics discussed. I want you to focus in on this area. So understanding, right? These are the areas we want to focus on for the customers, not this specific area. A good outline always comes back to understanding who your customer is, because you did the customer research, and then just making sure you're providing clear instructions. But yeah, Ben, it's written on the document inside the Facebook group. So just tag me if you can't find it. There's a Facebook group called Weird Secondhand Finds That Must Be Shared, where people share photos of thrift store art. Group has 1.5 million members. What product would you suggest for a group like that? Thrift store products? I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Because people shopping at thrift stores are thrifty, right? So I don't know. That's something I don't really know a ton about. And especially if it's such a generalized, it could be anything from a thrift store. It might be too generalized to try to sell a specific product to. The first thing that comes to mind is some sort of app that speeds up the process of finding stuff and pricing it and whatnot. But yeah, no, that's it's a little out of my realm. Apologies. All right, March 13th. What other questions do we got going on today? Am I going to get the coronavirus? We don't know. That is a question. Fucking hope not. I've been washing my hands like there's no tomorrow everywhere. My Uber driver sneezed. I was like, yo, you good? I literally looked at him and was like, you good? Is this corona? You let me out right here. He's like, no, don't worry, I'm good. You better be good. You got to be taking this stuff seriously for the time being. Because there's a certain few world leaders are not taking this too seriously, kind of causing some issues. We ain't gonna get into the political debate right now, right? Or we could. I don't know if you follow me on Facebook, but I don't post a lot on Facebook. What I do, I'll just post a couple lines about something, and then I'll take off for the day, and then I'll come back and read the comments. And I always get a good crack. But interesting time, entertaining time. So, what other questions do we got? Life questions, business questions, publishing questions. Do Black people get the coronavirus? It's not proven yet. We don't know. We could be immune. I just started seeing that on Instagram. I was like, what? That's crazy. Nobody likes awkward silence on video, guys. Keep me talking. Keep me talking. Nothing. I'm going to check Facebook, see if there's any quick questions there I can answer. I would still like to know what's the biggest thing that you need help with right now, like in your business. Like if you're not doing 10, 15, 20K a month, what do you need help with? What's stopping you? Is it lack of books right now? Is it lack of knowledge? Is it one area that's holding you back? Like, guys, this is literally free training right now. What can I help you with? Favorite way to start researching for a niche? Great question. 3-minute summaries. Okay. Starting with stuff I know. I'm still a firm believer in starting with stuff I know. Right? Starting with some sort of topic I understand. Or I am a little bit more familiar with, because I just find that it's easy. It just makes the process a lot easier. So I'll start there, and then I'll just kind of go on a rabbit hole and go until I find something interesting or something that I see that's doing really well. So that's it. And I still think there's 2 videos, 3-minute summaries. There's 2 videos on my channel. So I think if you type in like keyword research live, you'll get one. It's about 45 minutes long, and you'll kind of see how I just jump from topic to topic to topic, and you'll kind of see my thought process through finding different keywords, and how like one, and then I'll look at something and I found another one, and I'll try that one out, and like that's just kind of how I do it. Yeah, I know people keep coming up with new and exciting ways. I'm old school, and what worked for me back then is still working for me today. It's still what I teach people. I've cleaned it up a little bit, but it's a simple process, really. So hopefully that helps. 3-minute summaries. I see you posted another question. I'll get to that in a second. How can I avoid copyright images from the internet? How can I get images I can use in my book? So if you just Google stock images or royalty-free images, you can use those type of images. I'm going through a thing right now with Publish Drive about some of my books, and they're like, "Oh, can you use those?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can use them. They're my images." And so it's a whole thing, and getting my copyright lawyer to send a letter to say, yes, he owns the images, he can use the images. But if you're going to use an image, source it. If you're going to take an image from somewhere, you have to credit the source. That's just the safest way to do it. Because if you're giving credit to the source, you should be good, right? How beneficial do you feel KDP Select is? Very beneficial in the beginning. And I've changed my opinion on this, but in the beginning, you should definitely be on it. And then as you grow your business, you should definitely get off it and grow your income on other platforms as well. Because Amazon has proven that they will terminate accounts, block books, or do whatever they want for the absolute most retarded reasons, because they can. It's their sandbox. So don't let them have full control on your business like that. But in the beginning, use KDP Select, because it's a great way to just kind of boost up everything and get you going. Do you have a set of parameters that need to be met before you test the product in the niche? Look, I still use, the BSR for the first page. The average needs to be like under 100, 150,000. They can't have hundreds and hundreds of reviews. I'm not going to bother competing with any big authority figures. And it needs to be getting searched, minimum 750 times a month on Amazon. Those are the generic parameters that I use when scoping in a niche. Now, I say generic because it doesn't like those. I've published books and had profitable books when not all of those were met. And I've also published books where all of those are met and those books sucked. So it's not as black and white as you may think anymore. But those are the generic, if you follow those kind of guidelines, most of the time you're going to have a successful book. So yes, so search volume, like I said, minimum 750, but usually over 1,000. Amazon results, I don't really worry about, like, I'm not going to jump into a niche that has like 10,000 bucks. Like, it's too many to compete with. So BSR, like I said, under 100 to 150,000. Those are kind of the ideal numbers. Hopefully that helps. It took me 5 months, but that was like back then we did not have courses the way we have courses now. Like, it was really like, it takes students way less time now to succeed because there's so many more resources. We know so much more about ads. It's much easier to get success in this day and age than 5 months is probably like 13 hours a day. Like, you're running a business. We don't count hours here. It's 13 hours is an exaggeration, right? Maybe some days it might have been 1 hour because I had other stuff going on. But, sometimes I was working up until like 2 a.m. just because it was like going at it, right? Like, don't count hours. Only focus on the results you're getting. Hi, Emeka. For Publisher Rocket, what is it used for exactly? Can it be helpful to find alternative keywords for the main keyword that have been found to craft our title and subtitles? Yes, it can. It's also really helpful for finding a ton of keywords for your ads as well, and among other things. Finding the search results or the number of times keywords are searched for on Amazon. Publisher Rocket is one of those more advanced tools that you use it if you're like, you use it for publishing in a certain way. I like looking at more data. You can't just rely on Rocket or on Kindle Spy or Amazon data. Like, I like understanding kind of the whole picture. Next question: How much do you think is fair to pay a writer for a 25,000 word book? Is it hard to find freelancers that are both good at writing and passionate about the topic? Okay, so 25 words, 25,000 words, about $700. I'm thinking, I don't know, but whatever is fair is what Urban Writers is charging, and then for freelancers, just pay them like $100 less. Like, freelancers are typically cheaper in most cases. So yeah. Now, yes, it is hard to find somebody who's passionate and who's good at writing. So you're probably going to find somebody who's passionate and who's okay at writing. That's why you'll spend more on an editor to fix it all up, or you'll do some of it yourself. If they're passionate and really bad at writing, it's probably just going to be frustrating, or you're probably just going to do a lot of the work as well. But passionate and good at writing, it will be more challenging. What exactly do you use Kindle Spy for? 3-minute summaries. Take a look at one of my last videos. I think it's like live keyword research. It's one of the last couple videos I did on the channel. You're going to see how I use both of them. Okay, Derek asks, has Amazon ever flagged one of your books and prevented you from getting reviews and not tell you, even though your book was still selling on their platform? No. Like, so you mean people can't leave reviews on your book? Is that what you're saying? So Hope asks, I once heard you say once heard a publisher say, for you to be profitable, you need to publish more and more books. Now the question is Kindle publishing a game of quantities or qualities? It's quality now. But back then it was quantity. 3 years ago it was quantity. 4 years ago, quantity. 5 years, quantity. The more you publish, the more you make. But now it's quality, right? You can publish lesser books, but higher quality books, and you'll make more long term. If you just want to make more, if you just want quick, short money right now, just publish short, or still publish long books, but don't care about the quality. But they're not going to sell in like 3 years. Like I would like my book selling 4 or 5 years later. I like that because it's money that's still coming in. So that's why publishing quality books is kind of key for that. You know, crappy books don't last 4 or 5 years. Okay, so Derek, if they can't leave a review, they might not have spent $50 on Amazon before, because that's the minimum an account has to spend before they can leave a review. So that might be it. And literally, it tells them that when they're trying to leave a review, it'll tell them. So, you know, but I understand people are people. So, well, any other last questions before we wrap things up here, ladies and gentlemen? If you haven't already, hit the like button. That thumbs up. Appreciate that. Appreciate you guys making some time for me on a Friday afternoon, or Friday morning, really. It's always good times. Yeah, check out like the last couple of videos on the channel. I just did a keyword niche video. So that should help, hopefully. But we're going to be doing this again next week, possibly at a later time. Not 100% sure when yet, but I'll be sure to send an email out, and I'll also have it scheduled again on the channel. So I believe you should see it. How's the new course compared to your current one? Will include audiobooks. Yeah, it includes audiobooks. The way I do audiobooks. It's not focused on audiobooks, but it's the way I do audiobooks. Literally, it's like 20 times larger than the current one. Like, you can't even compare the two. It's like comparing like an ant to the Hulk. You can't compare the two. So, yeah. When is the course being updated? Like, I'm literally working on it right now. So I'm working on it. I was speaking to one of the designers. It's all I'm doing right now. That and live streams. So, and you know, family life, right? Thanks for Midsummer's for your input. What is your best-selling book? I have no clue. I'd have to check. I have no idea right now. That's actually a really good question. I wonder what it is. We do have a programming book that's doing well. Right? Computer programming book that is doing well. But I do not know currently what is my best-selling book. It might be one of my old ones, because those I saw over the last little bit were doing strong. I just started having my assistant start sending me weekly reports again. So I'm a little bit more in tune with the books, but I do not know, hey, what was the #1 book for February? I just don't track that. I just kind of see what they're doing weekly, and I'm like, all right, that's good. Happy with those numbers. What happened there? Not happy with those. But yeah, so hopefully that helps. Or maybe it doesn't, because I couldn't give you a real answer. Sorry, Kaylee. Or Kylie. All right. Do you think creating a Facebook author page is a must? No, complete waste of time. The only author page you need to create is one on Amazon. Anything else is a waste of time. Unless you're building a brand in a deeper business, a bigger business around that, then anything you do is not a waste of time. Because exposure. How many books do you have published? Courtney the plug. Okay, here. Courtney, you're going to do the math though. I'm not doing the math. I'm going to go into my KDP account. And I'm just going to like look at how many books you can in review. Why is that taking like so long? Okay. 50 pages, 50 per page. It takes a second to load. While to load. guess I could have just told you what was it. What did it start at 10 per page? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 times 15. What is that? 150? I have 150 books published. Ahmed, is publishing books in a way just publish and forget it, or do we have to become an authority figure as well? For example, answering readers' questions. That's a really good question, Ahmed. It is publish and forget it for the most part. It is. Now, if you do want to build like a business around it, right? And you focus on a niche, you focus on one area, you want to build relationships with your readers to sell them other products, to sell them more books or anything. Well, yeah, you want to keep connecting with them, but that's like a business. But you can also do it so you can publish and forget it. But if you publish and forget it, just understand that the income will start to decline over the years, right? Unless you pop up a couple more books and, so you just want to understand that. Without disclosing too much, do you do 5 figures per month? My best month was 19K. I did like 10 to 12K consistently for like a year and a half. But right now, like last year, we published maybe 20 bucks. So my income dropped. I think we would keep it like around $7,000 because I'm only using my self-publishing income for personal expenses. Like that's it. That's what we use to, live on, eat, and all of that. But right now, what we're doing, because as I'm creating the course, we're publishing a lot more books. I'm getting into it more because it's, the best teachers and the best students, so to speak. So I'm in it a lot more. So we're pumping out a lot more books and getting a lot more things going. So we'll probably get the income up to somewhere like $12,000 to $15,000 a month over the next couple months here. But yeah, right now, like it's been at like $6,000-7,000 for a little while, like just because I published like maybe 20 books last year. Like I doubt even 20. Shit. It might have been like maybe 10 to 15 books last year. So not a lot, right? So, what I just said, right? The income, if you don't keep publishing books, 50 pages at 12-word font is about 10,000 words. 10 times 50, yes. 10 times 50, right, yeah, for the number of books that I have published, yes. And keep in mind, like 80-20 rule, right? Only 20% of those actually do anything important. Probably less than 20, probably like 10% of those actually, do something important in terms of making money, where the others like, make $1 or $2 every now and then. Ten times 50 is, you're right, hold on. Okay. So, 50 page, 50 books per page, and there's 3 pages. So how many books is that on KDP? Right? Bingo, okay. There we go. 10, yeah, okay, cool. So how do you focus on selling more paperback than ebooks? I heard one of your old videos saying that you only focus on paperback. So my question is, how do you do that? Honestly, I don't know. There's no magic to it. People will buy whatever they want to buy. That's it, right? They're only buying audiobooks a lot because it's just one of the, it's a growing thing for people to do right now, right? It's just people like paperbacks, so they'll buy paperbacks. Why do fiction readers like ebooks so much and not paperbacks? It's just what they do. Nonfiction just likes paperback and audiobooks. You don't have to do anything different. You just got to publish them and give your customers three things to buy: ebooks, paperback, and audiobooks. How do you do on ACX? I do all right. Other than Publish, Rocket, and Katie's Buy, what other tools are there that are beneficial? None. Like those are kind of the only two you really need right now. So, yeah. All right. Any last questions? We'll take off. No. Cool. Like I said, if could boil down how to consistently create books that would make like a consistent income stream per month. All you have to do is publish books. Like just put out 3 to 5 books a month, and you'll have consistency. Right? That's all you have to do. It's not hard. It's just pump out 3 to 5 books a month, and you'll be good to go. Pump out more if you want, but 3 to 5 it doesn't take a lot. I've 508 books consistency, no consistency. 508 books. Are you doing like low content, no content? Yeah, there you go. You're doing a combo of notebook and low content. That business model, you have to pump out literally hundreds and thousands of books. If you focus only on nonfiction, you'd be killing it. But with the low content, that's why I just don't like that model. With that model, you have to pump out way higher numbers, right? So like the numbers that I was saying, nonfiction, you can do lower numbers. Like I have multiple students, who have hit $10,000 a month with less than 20 books. But you're not going to do that with low content because it's just a completely different model. Okay, so 3-minute summaries. I don't understand research, so you take massive action. Right, so you're working on all the wrong things. So my question is, obviously I don't know your name. Are you in the course? Have you purchased a publishing course? Like, have you done that yet? Right? And not a low content one, like a nonfiction publishing. You have, which one? Like you took my course. Okay, so message in the Facebook group. Like I have no idea who you are. Now I'm really, really curious. Message in the Facebook group, right? But I want to know, like, how many nonfiction do you have versus your other ones? Right? And I'm guessing you have a lot more of the other ones, just probably because they're super cheap to put out. Right? But I'd say, and especially my course does not help you with low content at all. I know nothing about that. I don't want to know anything about that. I only focus on nonfiction. And if you follow what's in the course for only nonfiction, you're going to have success. I'm the one who found your content dated. Oh, yeah, 100%. The content is dated, right? Inside the blueprint right now, it's dated. That's why I'm redoing all of it. But it's dated, but it still works if you follow it to a T. 100%, it works. It still works, right? But I don't, like, you can DM me on Facebook after or email me, but, like, I'm kind of curious to see who you are. But have you asked for help in the Facebook group? Like, I'm curious. Like, we are there to help you. We are there to help you. I want to help you, but if you don't reach out, well, I'm not gonna, who needs help, right? Like, just come to me. Like, we're here to help. Like, that's what I do for my students. I'm more than happy to help you, but please reach out. 3-minute summaries and let me know. Hey, I'm 3-minute summaries from the live stream because I'm curious to know who you are now. There's a couple more things here. Do you think it could be beneficial to publish books on trending topics? It is, but it's just understand it's short term. It's very short term money. So just understand that, right? One last question for Urbanites, their total package they give premium. Yes, look, I only would recommend their platinum package now, the one that includes everything. It's just by far the best deal. It makes the most sense for anybody to use because you get your cover, your book description, your book, edited, proofread, formatted, Did I miss anything else? And I know Marco is currently working on a couple other really, really cool features for specifically that package. So I would definitely, say that's the best deal you could go with. It's a small price difference, but at the same time, if we publish a couple books, the price adds up. Yes, it does. Premium versus top writers within the package. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So. Cool. Awesome, everybody. If you have any other questions, just put them in the comments of this video, and I will definitely grab them so we can answer them on the following live stream. But this was fun. Speak to y'all soon. Take care.